Hello again, BGFH back here, and actually I'm going to save, just in case something goes weird. And I'll save it again. So there, we got a beginning and end of the level. Okay, here we go. So, I believe, what are we on? 7? No, 6? Hell, I don't remember anymore. I think we got 2 more levels left. 2 more levels and then the boss level, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so, a couple levels to go yet. So in the last level we started talking about first-person shooters in general, you know, Doom's influence, Doom clones, as it were. Oh, okay, I was gonna kill that guy. So, here we've got an area. Got a few guys in there. But they've locked us in. How nice of them. Can't get out. So, why won't they let us out? Well, it just so happens, in typical Doom fashion, we've got a nice glowing key here. How nice. Or not. Dudes everywhere. And hopefully we can use this. Maybe we can get them to fight each other. Get a shotgun guy pissed off at an imp, maybe? Or something like that. Alright, screw this. Let's use my shotgun. Oh, the shotgun guys are the worst. I love getting ammo, but they will hit you pretty good. So now... Oh, geez. Hi. Didn't see you right away. So yeah, all these different compartments. And if I was playing this on Ultraviolent... way more guys. I mean, way more guys come out of these. So you really have to run around this area and try not to screw up. So yeah, there we go. And now that door is open again, and we're free to leave. We'll head straight across, and actually, let's head over here. Oh shit, that hurt. Oh, I knew that was going to happen, those stupid barrels. Well, at least I still have over 100 health. Didn't want to waste it that badly, but oh well. Is there a secret in here? I don't remember. No. Alright. Head across the poison again. And go get another key. So, Doom clones, are first-person shooters. Like I said, there's something about the DOS first-person shooters that I really miss. I mean, you know, again, I've already kind of talked about the whole, you know, free-for-all deathmatch versus team play stuff, like a lot of modern shooters. I mean, I know you have to change the formula at some point. You just can't just run and gun constantly. I totally get that. And the genre has to grow. But I don't think we're done as far as, you know, just creative ideas for, you know, even just the run and gun shooters. Now, I'm going to run down here because if I remember correctly, I forget where that vest is, but okay, so we got that. Oh shit. Where is my vest thingy? I know there's a there's my vest. Okay. Now we're safer. Okay, good. Alright, I always forget which way to go down there. So we got another secret, and again, they want you to kind of like, oh, there's this little opening in the wall. You know you want to go down here, even though it's poison. So we'll go through here, get some invisibility, and some night vision goggles, which I really don't need, but whatever. And there's a little secret area right behind the starting point. But yeah, these DOS first-person shooters, there's just something I miss about them. I don't necessarily care about You know, the whole leveling system like Call of Duty and pretty much every first-person shooter since Call of Duty 4 has just become so popular. Now everyone's trying to emulate that, and I think people to some extent are getting burnt out on that, so hopefully that will change pretty soon again, and they'll come up with something different. But one of the nice things about these games was that like I said, there was no leveling. Everyone had the same tools available to them, the same weapons, the same items, and it was just a sheer game of craziness. You know, it's like, well, on these modern games now, it's like, well, if I don't spend the however many hours to get enough kills and level up and get my perks and get my weapons, and I'm probably going to be at a pretty huge disadvantage comparatively to, you know, the hardcore, the people that play it all the time and just, you know, play these games constantly. So that's kind of another reason I don't really play these games. But, you know, you get into some of these like Doom and even Quake 2, Quake 3 Arena, Unreal Tournament. Those games were fantastic because, like I said, you just had the tools and you go. Whoa, and there's an imp that needs to be dealt with. Oh, there's another imp. Okay, I think I killed both of them. Sweet. Alrighty. Now, actually, right over here... Uh-oh. Where the hell did you guys come from? Oh, I want that shotgun ammo. I don't want to go through the poison. Oh, what the hell? It's not that bad. Now, I don't want to get that thing yet, because, as I happen to know, I think that's not fully opened up yet. I think when I come back here it'll be open, at least if I remember correctly. So, we're going to go through this area first. But, yeah, I mean, just, there's so many games that I loved to play in DOS, and I have a lot of them either through Steam or good old games. You know, naturally Doom, Doom 2, Wolfenstein 3D, but, you know, Hexen, Heretic, Quake, Quake 2, Quake 3, all of those are great. You know, Quake 2, especially, or even Quake 3 is not a DOS game, but it's still kind of the end of that classic, more fast-paced deathmatch era of game. Then you had a lot of these third-party games, or, well, not third-party, but just a lot of Doom clones or first-person shooter games that would come out that kind of built on the Doom formula. There's a lot of them that I can remember. Some of them had pretty unique twists, and some of them were just kind of essentially very simple Doom-style games with a different skin. But early on, there were, you know, the more like the Wolfenstein games. You had things like Blake Stone. There's a couple games in that series, I think. Those were not actually too bad. Those were kind of neat games. The Blake Stone series. That was sort of like a alien-based sort of thing, and it was more, again, everything was flat and right angles, and I don't believe there were staircases. It was just all switches and flat surfaces and things like that. I already mentioned Ken's Labyrinth. That was, I didn't play much of that because, like I said, it was pretty terrible from what I remember. There's no secret. I forget what that power-up does there. Blake Stone, let's see what else. Then you got into things like one of the cool, really cool Doom ones that I think they used the Doom engine for a lot of these, and that's what id Software would do, is once Doom became very popular, and especially Quake, they actually started licensing out their engines, you know, the core background or the core, you know, coding behind their games, and they would license it out to other developers. So it's like, okay, we don't have to build the core engine, We just have to come up with the theme and the content for the game. So that became a really huge moneymaker for id Software. And now you've kind of taken over with the Unreal Engine. You know, I can't tell you how many first and third person shooters nowadays are, or action games in general, are made from the Unreal 2 engine, or Unreal 3 engine, or whatever it's going to be next, Unreal 4, or id Tech 5, the id Software's Rage engine, Crytek, the Crysis engine. So in the in the game world, you've got a core set of these companies that make their engines available for other developers, and it's really nice because then the developers, like I said, they've got a they can mod the engines some, modify them to work better with their game, but it'll help because it just makes it easier. They can concentrate on creating the content that they want to create instead of having to rebuild everything from the ground up again. So with some of these older games, like I said, you had one of the cool ones was Dark Forces. It was really a Star Wars first-person shooter, and that was really cool. You had the stormtroopers. You had the light. Well, you didn't have the lightsabers in the first game. But you did have a lot of the. You had a lot of Star Wars characters. You had a lot of Star Wars weapons and cool stuff like that. Okay. Where do we go here? It's all kind of green here. Here we go. Alright, we'll do it this way. Go down here. So that's a nice secret because we get a nice mega health. Yeah. Alright. Oh, and we gotta fight a bunch of dudes! Yeah, fight each other. Dark Forces was a really good one, and then they just that became its own franchise. Dark Forces 2, we got lightsabers and stuff, and so that was a really cool one. Rise of the Triad was another really messed up one. That was actually they're coming out with a remake. I think it was originally supposed to come out this fall, but I'm not sure if it got delayed or not. Rise of the Triad was... it was messed up, man. It was... I don't even know really how to explain it. If I can get the original working decently, I may do a quick glimpse into that game because it's just weird. I remember playing it. That was like this weird, you had your guy, again, you had a lot of your, kind of core type of weapons, but there was also a bunch of weird stuff. There was like traps everywhere, and you had this weird god hand power where you could turn people into, animals, or like just explode them. There was a mode or a code where you could, it was just super bloody, so like you'd kill a guy with like a rocket and like you'd see eyeballs and other kind of just weird body parts just flying around. It was just crazy. Just one of those things, you really have to see it to... It was a weird game. What other ones were out there? I mean, like I said, I played so many. Then you got into, when you got past the Doom games, then you had people building their own engines. The build engine, I think it was actually called, which is what they used for things like Wolfenstein 3D, or not Wolfenstein 3D, Duke Nukem 3D, which is another hugely popular game back in the day. That one you could look up and down, you could jump, you could you could get a jetpack. I mean, but the really thing with that was it was supposed to be this mature game, Yeah, Doom was, dark and kind of, demonic, but this was kind of more of the... Duke Nukem was the blonde guy who's always going after women, and aliens kidnapped Earth's women and stuff like that, and kind of... The Duke Nukem character was just this you know, a whole bunch of like cliches from like Evil Dead and stuff like that. You know, kind of taking the Evil Dead formula with the... Oh crap. Shoot. Can't really move around back here much. Just crossing with a different kind of, you know, like the Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of action hero kind of guy is what that was. Kind of sort of a parody in itself. But, I mean, there were fun games. And again, that was one where the Shareware episode, I think the first 2 levels of that game were, I think, the best levels. I didn't like it when they went into space or some of the other weird levels. I like the ones where you're actually in. The thing that Duke Nukem did is that it was really cool is in the levels where you were on Earth and you were in these kind of real world environments. Like the first level, you know, you would go through the city streets, and there was a movie theater and stuff like that. And the second level was there was a nightclub and a couple of other buildings, you know, like a little pool table, and there was a little bar. You know, I remember the little O.J. Simpson van or Bronco on the TV, but just all the little like, you know, you take something like Doom and add actual level interactions into it. So, you know, you walk up to a pop machine, you hit it, it's like a pop would come out, or you hit, you know, the toilet would flush, or you turn the light switches on and off. Just adding this other weird, just kind of level of interactivity into the real world. That was just a really novel thing. Again, I mean, it seems really stupid now, but we're like, oh, that's so cool. You can actually interact. You know, you don't have to just shoot things. You can actually, you know, interact with it. You can actually use the items in the world. That was really kind of neat. Then you had things like Shadow Warrior, which was like this weird, really racist kind of, or stereotypical weird Japanese ninja game. You know, where Duke Nukem was the Arnold Schwarzenegger guy. This was like some Japanese Chinese warrior guy that would just say the weirdest things, and it was an action game sort of like that. The Blood series, that was another weird one that was kind of cool. But with that, we'll continue on to the final main level here. Let's see how we did. Not terrible. With that, I'll see you in the next video.